My assignment was to choose a leisure activity that was more associated with members of the opposite gender than my own. I chose to learn how to target shoot at a gun range. Guns in general have predominantly been associated with men, not so much as a leisure activity, but more of a sense of duty and manhood. Historically, men have been looked at as providers and protectors. Guns have been used for hunting for food, which gave men the opportunity to provide for themselves and for their family. Guns have also been used in war, which have given men the opportunity to fight and protect themselves, their families, and their countries. Gun ad campaigns started to gear towards women in the 1880s. The first ad depicted women as hunters and cowgirls. Next, ad campaigns used scantily clad models in order to sell firearms. Most recently, ad campaigns have featured suburban mothers and other everyday women doing everyday things. Women's participation has definitely increased from 2001 to 2011. In target shooting alone, there has been a 51.5% increase in participation by women. Today, it is estimated that just over 5 million women participate in some form of shooting sports, such as hunting, which has shown a 42% increase. Women now have even formed their own shooting leagues. With the recent tragedies and mass shootings that have occurred in 2012, guns have been catapulted to the top of many political debates. For example, in Aurora, Colorado, at the movie theater shooting, 12 were killed and 58 were wounded. Sandy Hook Elementary shooting claimed the lives of 27, of which 20 were just small children. Even here in the Bay Area, there was a private university shooting which killed 7 and injured 3. So it is no wonder why guns have been at the very top of the political debates. One interesting thing that I found during the course of this activity was that there is an ammunition shortage. The only place that I was able to find handgun ammunition in Modesto, which is where I live, was at the gun range. And as you can imagine, the prices were skyrocketed. I called Walmart, Dick's, and Big Five, all of which informed me they only get shipments in once a week, and on those days there are lines outside of the store waiting just to buy ammunition. According to CBS, even the police departments are feeling the results of the ammunition shortage. Richmond PD started using airsoft guns during training to save money and to kind of comply with the ammunition shortage, and they're not the only ones in the Bay Area. A lot of the ammunition is even backordered up to 12 months. I think now in this day and age, women are becoming more independent. They're learning to defend themselves, and many of them want to be able to do so. Single women need to be able to protect their homes, themselves, and their children if they have any. And not just single women, I think women everywhere need to feel a sense of independence because there won't always be a man there to protect them. And the lines between what's traditional and what's not, as far as leisure activities and just things in everyday life, are becoming blurred and not so stiff as they once were. In the feminism chapter by Gaines and Gaps, they listed the second goal of feminism as the right of every woman to equity, dignity, and freedom of choice through the power to control her own life and body within and outside the home. Considering that there's less stigma associated with women participating in activities such as shooting, I believe this goal is very close to being achieved. I definitely felt a sense of power being able to choose to go to the gun range and to participate in that type of activity, and I didn't feel any judgment from the people who were there or from the people that I told that I participated in the activity. And it's always been an activity that I've wanted to participate in, and I don't think were any societal constraints that held me back before, besides my age at one point. But it was just one of those things that I've always wanted to try, but I just never got around to doing so. And even for women who haven't been to the gun range and want to, I don't feel like there's any negative stigma around this, just because our generation is more open than it has ever been before. You know, in comparison to the Victorian age, when women were expected to be weak and delicate and to rely on a man, or even after World War II, when women's leisure activities were really only portrayed by middle aged, wealthy white women. And we know now that women of all race and all colors participate in leisure activities. I definitely learned a lot throughout this experience. I gained a sense of empowerment, which I can understand the appeal of shooting for both men and women, because it gives you a really great feeling to know you can protect yourself and your family if you need to. And it also helped me realize that I didn't have many other hobbies before this one, and I really enjoyed it. So, with that being said, I definitely know that I'm going to participate in target shooting in the future, and I've already set goals for myself as to what skills I want to perfect. And I've learned that it's definitely a great stress reliever. Although I had a lot of fun target shooting, there were some challenges. For one, I was definitely scared to shoot the gun for the first time. And my second time at the range, the gun jammed on me, which absolutely terrified me to death, considering in 2010 there were 600 accidental firearm deaths. And the 9mm that I used the second time, which was the one that jammed, was particularly hard for me to load, which may have been why it jammed in the first place. And I definitely had a lot of mixed emotions when it came to learning how to shoot. I was nervous, excited, and afterwards I felt empowered and proud of myself. And I definitely was a little bit cocky because I was a lot better at it than I thought I would be, especially for someone just starting out. There's a picture of me the very first time that I shot. And that's a target before. And as you can see, my aim is pretty good as I got just the head and the midsection. Well, it's actually the back of his head and his back. But I definitely got very great aim. And some more target pictures. And on the left is a picture of me loading the magazine. And on the right is the picture of the 22 unloaded with the safety on.